Oh yes, this is why I got this book. Okay, so I'm like, why did I get this one? What is up, my Lupias? It's Vanessa and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's summertime and a lot of people are starting to go out again, which is awesome. But at the same time, something I personally love to do, I like to read. Whether if I'm going to the beach, if I'm even taking the GO train to go downtown and meet like my friends, or if I'm just sitting in the backyard. And Mitch and I even read before we go to bed. We're trying to do that instead of be on our phones before bed. Me especially, I have a stack of books that I've been dying to read. But literally, because we have been in lockdown, you would think, Vanessa, you're at home, wouldn't you read all day because you have nothing to do? No, I was doing a lot during that time. And I tend to read either if I'm relaxing or if I'm traveling somewhere. Even when we lived in the condo, I would only read on the train on my way to work. And since I'm working from home, haven't had the need to read. Yeah, so I want to share some of the books that I'm reading and what I'm currently reading, what I've read so far. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it and I hope that maybe you check out some of these books. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start off with a book that I read this year. This is the only book I've read this year. Isn't that sad? It's July and I just started reading now. So I read this book, which is Go Set a Watchman. It's by Harper Lee. It's the same author who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. So Go Set a Watchman is basically the sequel of To Kill a Mockingbird. The same characters and everything. So it shows Louise when she's older. And it is interesting. I did start reading it before COVID and then I paused for a really long time, but I picked it right back up recently and I finished it and it was actually a really good book. If you remember To Kill a Mockingbird from reading it in high school, then you will recognize the characters and how the times were back then. Yeah, I like this book overall. It's a very serious in a way as well, so I'm not sure if you're into like serious novels, then this would be something that would spark your interest. The book that I am currently reading is this one right here, which is Christmas Shopaholic, and it's the Shopaholic series by Sophia Kinsella. And honestly, the Shopaholic series, I have all the books. Like, I am obsessed with Shopaholic series. I relate to it so well, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of you can relate to it so well. It's essentially about a girl named Becky Bloomwood, and it's a whole series. Like, you should start from the beginning and keep on going, because you don't like the thing about books is you don't necessarily have to read the first one in order to like understand what's going on, because it's a different theme. But growing up to this series, it's so good and it's so addicting, and it's so funny. The way that Sophie writes this is so good. Like, she writes it like that there's emails going on and then there's like a story. It's so funny. Like, it is so relatable. It's so funny. And I really recommend that you read this book if you love the Shopaholic series. If you watched Confessions of a Shopaholic movie, no offense, the movie wasn't that good compared to the book. I highly recommend that you read this. Currently, I am 2 days into reading it. Like 2 evenings into reading it. I read I'm on chapter 8. Like, it's crazy. It's so addicting to read. And I highly recommend that you read this. This is the most latest one. I think she wrote this in 2019. I was so excited. You don't even know how excited I was, because I thought the Shopaholic series was done, because she hasn't written a book in so long. And then I went to Walmart on a whim to go shopping for other things last year, and then I saw this in the book section. I literally screamed. I was so ecstatic and excited. So I know it's not Christmas right now, but in a couple months it will be Christmas, so definitely read this. It is so funny so far, and I love it. It is so good. I'm gonna finish this in no time, but yeah, I have all the books from the Shopaholic series, so if there's a series you want to get into, this is the one. It is the best, my favorite of all time. Okay, so I'm putting books beside me right now, because this is like the stack of some of the books that I need to read, but these are the ones that I want to read first. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm crazy. It's like, Vanessa, you're not gonna read that much, but I read pretty quick. So we're gonna go into some categories. So the first category I'm gonna go into is the self-motivating books I'm going to read is this one, which is Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. This was actually referred by Adeline Warren, and when I saw the title, I'm like, that's me. Because I work in an office and it kind of puts you in a boss babe attitude, and I love books like this. It kind of talks about tips and mistakes that women make in the office and how to deal with them. And the way that they make it is like they show it as mistakes that women do in the office that like won't make them move forward in their company. I always find it interesting. There's a different perspectives, and yeah, I thought it'd be an interesting read, so I got this one. The next book that I got, another like motivating book, is Get Over Your Damn Self, the No BS Blueprint to Building a Life-Changing Business. I'm not an entrepreneur or anything. This book, I think I got it off of Amazon, and the reviews were really, really good on them. I'm like a cover shopper when I go to a bookstore, or if I'm like looking for a book. I look at the book, I look at the title. On Amazon too, they let you read the first page, and I just like read the first sentence and I was like, okay, I think I'll like this book. So again, I always love getting tips. You always learn throughout your life different things, and I just thought it would be an interesting read, so this was the next book. The next book from the self-motivating section is this one. It's called Girl Code, Unlocking the Secrets to Success, Sanity, and Happiness for the Female Entrepreneur. This book will not teach you how to build a multi-million-dollar business. It won't teach you about systems or operational processes, but it will teach you how to build confidence in yourself, reconnect with your why, eradicate jealousy, and ultimately learn the power of connection. The one thing I hate about The Office is office networking. I hate networking with people. So I love talking to people at my work, at my office, but I hate networking events. Like, I don't mind going to a networking event for some food, for some drinks, you know, an activity, whatever. But when it's small talk, I suck at it. I'm the worst. So I thought this might help. Get some tips. Well, give this a try. Go ahead and see how it works. So this book, I don't know if it's necessarily a self-help book, but I was really, really excited about this. If anyone knows the YouTube channel Refinery29, they came out with a book called Money Diaries. So they made a book essentially about people's situations with money and how they deal with it. It has essentially challenges, it has questions to consider, it also has people's like stories, and it has different chapters. It's just really interesting. It has like pictures. Literally when I saw this book, I'm like, I need to buy this book, like now. Like, I love visual things. Like, it's talking about an example, a week in North Carolina on a $38,500 salary, and it shows how much they're spending. So I think it's really good and a realistic way of trying to like look at your money and see where you're spending, maybe get some tips on how to save and where to save. I always love books like this. Refinery29, I got you. Very excited to read this one. The next book, this is actually a poetry book, and it's called The Prophet. This was recommended to me by a friend of mine. This book has been translated into more than 40 languages, and basically it's a guide to life told through a collection of prose poetry. I remember Chicken Soup for the Soul, like that's the books I used to read in school, but I haven't really read a poetry book like as an adult. This book looks gorgeous. It's not too big. Even the poetry, it's kind of has a theme. Like one says on crime and punishment, on reason and passion, on friendship, on beauty. There's just so many, and just something to kind of reflect on, and I'm really excited to read it. This is definitely going to be a good bedtime book, you know, to kind of like relax you. But yeah, definitely excited to read this one. So now we're going into the fiction series, which is all of these books here. The first one is The Alchemist by Coelho. And literally, like, look how gorgeous this book is, like the front and the back, and like even the texture, it's beautiful. One of my friends recommended this to me. They said it was the most amazing book. A shepherd boy named Santiago, who travels from his homeland in Spain to the Egyptian desert in search of a treasure buried near the pyramids. Along the way, he meets a gypsy woman, a man who calls himself king. So I guess he goes on to like adventures, but I have heard numerous reviews on how good this book is, so I'm very excited to read it. The next one I'm going to read, I got really excited when I read this at Indigo, which is Breakfast at Tiffany's. I'm a huge Audrey Hepburn fan. I've actually never seen the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's. I find to me that the books are always better than the movie. I didn't even know it was based on a book, so I'm really excited to read this. The next fiction novel I'm excited to read is this one called Save Karen. One shopaholic's journey to debt and back. Literally, I would Google like shopaholic books, and then it would always be Sophie Kinsella. But I love anything related to the same type of topic. I'll read you the snippet from the back. It says, drowning in $20,000 of credit card debt, shopaholic Karen Bosnack asked strangers for money online, and it worked. What would you do if you owed $20,000? Would you A, not tell your parents, B, start your own website that asks for money without apology, or C, stop coloring your hair, getting pedicures, and buying Gucci? If you were Karen Bosnack, you'd do all three. It's just really funny, and literally even just turning the page, for example, I love books that kind of have a depth to it. Like this one, it has like different types of font. I don't know if you can see, but the font's different. It has financial statements, fake ones, obviously, by showing like how much money she owes, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of like puts you in the protagonist's shoes, which I love. And I'm very, very excited to read this one as well. Definitely, this is gonna be one I think I will like. So I'm very excited to read this. Now, the last of the fiction books I'm gonna read, this is the same series. If anyone knows me, I love Disney. Literally, when Mitch and I went to Disney World in Florida, I think it was 2 years ago, I was gobsmacked. I was like in La La Land. I think I loved it more than the children. Like, I was so ecstatic. I've always wanted to go there, so I was so excited that I got to go there. I want to go there again. Obviously, we all know that there's Disney books. I saw this on Amazon and I was literally screaming. So Liz Braswell created a Disney series, but it's kind of like a twisted series of the Disney movies. So, you know how Disney movies now, they kind of focus on the villain. They try to just twist it around a little bit. Well, now the classical books are being twisted around. I bought this in a set because it was cheaper than buying them separately, but it's called a Twisted Tale Collection. Here are the 3 books that came with it. So this is the first one, called Once Upon a Dream, and it said, what if Sleeping Beauty never woke up? Here's the second one, which is A Whole New World. What if Aladdin never found the lamp? What? What do you mean? If Aladdin never found the lamp? What about the genie? And then here's the next one. As Old as Time. What if Belle's mother cursed the beast? I was like, oh. And Beauty and the Beast is like one of my favorite movies. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Because they never really talked about Belle's mother in the Disney film at all. Definitely excited to read this series. I got it on Amazon, but just to let you know, the box it comes in, it might be a little bit squished. That was what the reviews said and people complained about. If you're looking to get it as a gift for someone, just a warning, it may be squished. As you can see, it's not perfect. It's not horrible either, but you know, if you're paying, I don't even know how much I paid, 60 bucks or something. You want it to be perfect, so. But I did get this one because this one was available, which is the next one in the series, which is Reflection, what? I'm so excited for it. And it says, what if Mulan had to travel to the underworld? I'm like, what? What underworld? I just think it's such a cool concept, such a cool idea. And yeah, like I'm so excited for this series. I hope they make one for every Disney film, like Alice in Wonderland. I think there is one for Alice in Wonderland. There's one for Frozen as well. I saw it, but I'm not gonna get all the books yet until I start reading them. So I'm probably gonna get the whole series, to be honest. So, super excited. And those are some of the books that I have read and that I'm currently reading and what is next on my reading list. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope it maybe got you sparked your interest to look at some of these novels, some of these books. And yeah, if you've read some of them, comment down below what you thought of them. If there's a book that you think I should check out, definitely comment down below and let me know, because I will read it. I will purchase it and read it.
Okay, for some reason it froze here, but just wanted to jump on and say, if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, and don't forget to click that subscribe button down below, as I post every single Monday. Thanks for watching, and see you next week. Bye!